how where you gonna get your breaks at, but you just
Yeah.
got to put yourself out there. You know what I mean?
So I got a quick question for you, K9. Um, since O'Shea Duke Jackson shot you out, have you seen a change in your subscribers or your watch time or something like that?
I don't know because my subscriber counts is going up basically like weekly, daily. Like every time I do a show, my subscribers are going up. You know what I mean? So they didn't go up like in a crazy amount, but like it didn't hurt. You know what I'm saying? I'd say the main thing him shouting my channel out, definitely strengthen the core people that follow me is like because the people that watch you they want to believe in you like your success story he's coming up so the people that rock with me kind of just strengthen that core support group like all right K9 he's moving up the rankings and they feel like it's a community, you know what I'm saying? And so not only did he shout me out, everybody that really rock with me felt like he shouted us out as a
Hey,
camp.
you sure right, man. Because
Like
when I seen him do it, I was like, man, the homie K9, man. I felt like he shouted me out along with you. So you dead on point with that, bro. You dead on point with that for sure, for sure.
what was the shout out about?
I think he was calling. I think K9 was calling somebody out. I think wasn't it Jay Rello or
Yeah.
something like that? He was calling them
Yeah,
out.
he was breaking down either J Rello or NYC the Future. And he had mentioned-
Yeah. So he showed him some love, and O'Shea Duke Jackson, like him, MTR and stuff like that, bro. If they shot you out, bro, it could skyrocket your channel. It could skyrocket your channel. I think MTR did that for Zoom, and Zoom even said it skyrocketed his channel. So yeah,
What's
NYC
K9?
NYC the one
What's
asking
your
for money, right?
YouTube?
It's basically it's my name that you see on that he have on the
Yeah.
that on my
That's why I took the what's the name down so everybody could see everybody's name.
Okay.
If you on the panel and you want to promote your channel, just put it in the back chat and I'll just post it and that'll make it clickable. So you know what I mean?
I wasn't sure if K9 was KBS. That's why I'm like, let me just ask real quick. I wasn't sure.
It's the way it's spelled on here, K9.
Do you guys know about Nightbot?
And you should come up, Charlie, too, man.
Nightbot. Nightbot is used on live streams. It can help regulate the chat, the comments, and stuff like that. You also can type in mine, and it will automatically, if the person wants to promote the channel, they type in mine in lower cases, and it will promote the channel for them. It's free. It's free, and you have to look it up. It has you can create different commands and stuff like that. Also, for like ideas for videos, if you're having trouble coming up with idea videos, you can type in general which kind of topics you want to talk about, and use like use ChatGPT or vidIQ to help you come up with ideas. And if you really, I recommend right now what you want to talk about, and then let ChatGPT or vidIQ help you possibly create a script. And you don't have to read it word for word, but you can use it as a highlight points to keep your live stream on topic, or even if you're doing a video.
Yeah, for sure.
And you should come up too, Charlie, man, because I'm doing a new show, right? I'm launching it in 2 weeks called Baddie for Baddie. You should probably, if you don't got to come up on the first one, whatever, man, come up on the panel, rock out. I'll shout your channel out, man, show you some love, drop your channel, you know what I mean? And just come rock out with the fellas, you know what I'm saying?
Okay, now even if you didn't, bro, like say, man, I pull up just because everybody that pull up and show love over here, like I went over there to where I just seen Ronan because he simulcast. I just seen Ronan. I said, bro, I see, and he came across my website. I said, let me go over there and show Ronan some love. Bro hopped on me from the door. He must think I'm friendly. I'm like, all right. So I'm like, I'm not even here for you, bro. I'm here to support Ronan because he support me. But I'm saying that to say, bro, it's not even required, bro. I'll just pull up and support. If you want to, that's all. I'm not telling you not to, but I'm just saying in order for me to support just like you did, bro. Like you just pulled up on the panel and didn't even shout out your channel or nothing. You know what I mean? So man, there's things like that's taken notice of, man. And I would, the person that I am, I like to pay it forward or if at the very least pay it back,
Yeah, because my channel is more set up like a razor raised. When I say like that, in the sense of like, I be shouting everybody out that's cool. I really don't trip off like plugging other people's channel. It don't really mean nothing to me. I mean, unless obviously I don't like them because they be mad dissing me crazy. But like anybody that's cool, I'll be excited to see the new up and coming YouTubers, what their trajectory is gonna look like or what they're gonna add to the space. I don't really feel like, I don't care who gets in the game. I don't feel like it's gonna take anything off of my plate. It's so many viewers. I feel like whoever put on the type of shows people want to watch, those are the shows people are gonna watch. I don't care how many people join. That's why you'll see like there might be people that have been YouTubers before me. I'm not gonna mention no names and be messy, but I done passed them up. You know what I'm saying? Because they might still have more subscribers than me, but I'll do more views than them because it don't really matter about that. It matters about you knowing your audience, what they expect from you, and you being able to connect with your audience. You know what I'm saying? And if you don't know, like say for example, I was for a minute with my channel, I had like an abnormal start. Like my channel started off pretty quickly, but then for a second it kind of plateaued. And I had to like realize why was it plateauing. I had to reassess and adjust. Then my platform started to grow again. So you have to know, you have to be aware of these things. You know what I'm saying? And that's why the dude that came over here was like, "Yo, K9, this and that." Because I did used to get in a lot of beefs. Because for one point, I didn't used to have. I got tough skin physically, right? But I didn't have tough YouTube skin. Then as I grew into like being a content creator, my skin became tougher. And I was able to be like, man, I don't care. People gonna say this and that. And I realized this. People that say bad stuff about me, good stuff about me, they're talking about me. There's some people in this space that people never even bring their name up. And they want people to talk about them and they can't get no one to bring their name up. Yep. So you have to kind of look at it like that when people say, whether they say good, bad, or different, they watching, they talking about you, and it's free promotion. And that's how I just start looking at it.
That's a fact. And just to double down on what you said about, like, say, two things. Like you said, it like say another person coming up in the space is not going to take away from anybody else coming up in the space, because when you think about it, it's people out there with millions of subscribers that we never heard of, and they got millions of subscribers. So like it's enough room for that. And then another thing, like you saying that I heard, it doesn't dim a candle at all to light another candle.
Right. And look at, shout out that person, right? Shout out to that guy, Don Banks, right? I don't know when he started, but I know his platform is bigger than mine, right? But I know we don't really have the same viewers because the people that watch me don't necessarily watch him, right? Because he's not really a live streamer. See, right. People watch for different reasons. He more so uploads videos. So even though he may be big, like he do more views than me and may be a bigger YouTuber in that regard, I would be a bigger live streamer than him because he don't really do that. And so the people that watch me aren't necessarily going to watch him because they like watching lives. You know what I'm saying? And people that watch him may not necessarily watch me because I don't upload as many videos as him. And they like watching videos. And that's what I said. It's like so many people that watch YouTube. You just got to find your audience, bro. And once you find your audience, the rest is history.
You know, more people watching YouTube.
Go ahead.
When you look at your analytics and you see a lot of people beaming that shit to their TV, not on a device, not on a PC, but if you look at your analytics, it'll tell you how they're viewing you. There are a lot.
No, I didn't know that.
YouTube on TV as if that's their entertainment. They don't look at regular TV anymore. They stream.
Yeah, that's what I do. Listen, you see my TV's on in the background now. I don't look at regular TV. So yeah, for sure. Just fine. What's up, brother? Yeah, no.
I don't watch regular TV, and I very seldom ever watch the news. Anything that's important eventually reaches me here in Thailand. Most of it is this drama or distractions from the real problems.
That's a fact. Yep. Yeah. Misha, I'm gonna do it live tomorrow, but it is kind of, I'm not gonna say contingent, but Misha, you gonna pull up because I got a surprise guest pulling up tomorrow. You gonna pull up tomorrow too?
Yeah, I'll pull up if you got a surprise. Yeah, I pull up all the time on you. I just didn't get the notification today. I was doing a lot, but yeah, I'll pull up for sure.
Yeah.
What is the
Surprise
top?
guest.
Just Voss, salute.
What is tomorrow's topic?
Is Uncle Sam really cooking the citizens here? You know what I mean? And it's just an all around topic. It's gonna be a panel type of thing, and just with everything that's going on, like how, and just this is just a view into it, like how it's almost okay to fuck the little guy as a big company. How something just came out with Walmart to where they're selling these hams. What if it came out like, say, they selling it by the pound and they selling you 5 pounds of it, you go weigh it only weigh 2.5 pounds. How something I just experienced with Verizon Wireless. Not only can you not turn your modem into the store, the Verizon Wireless store, you have to then on your own terms go and turn it into the UPS store. And they called me almost at the 30-day mark talking about we didn't get it, so we're gonna have to charge you. If I didn't have that receipt, they would have been able to charge me, and it would have been nothing that I would have done. And I started to throw that receipt away.
Yeah, I'll pull up, Charlie. Just let me know. I'm drop down because I got to get ready for work tomorrow morning. Shout out to the panel. Shout out to the chat. I'll pull up tomorrow. K9. I'll even pull up on yours, not on the panel, but in the chat because you said something about baddies for baddies. That sounds kind of interesting.
Oh yeah, it's
Well, nice meeting you and take care.
we pull up. I appreciate it, but have a great, safe day. I mean, have a good night and a great day at work tomorrow when you make it there.
All right, thank you. Shout out to y'all. Have a good night.
Shout out to you, Misha. Appreciate you pulling up, sir.
All right.
I believe Republicans and Democrats are two wings of the same bird that spouts the same crap. The only difference is they switch back and forth between good and bad cop.
Well, that's just the overall topic. I could go even further into it. I'm sure a lot of people don't know who Bill.
Oh, I can go a lot deeper too.
I got a story. Hold on, Charlie. I got a story about that too. Now that you mention it, I bought a pair of pants from Men's Warehouse. I'm still mad about that. I bought the pair of pants, right? I know what you're talking about. I bought the pair of pants and I held on to the receipt. I bought the pair of pants on Monday. I was gonna buy it on Amazon, but I'm like, you know what? I need the pair of pants today, and I want to dress it and fit it. So I bought it. The guy sold it to me. Same guy, right? First day I put on the pair of pants, it ripped right in between. It ripped right in the middle, like right in between when I sat down. So I'm like, okay, I just got another pair of pants I had. I put that on and went to work for the first day. I came back next day and I went to the store and I told the guy, listen, you just sold me this pair of pants. I put it on first day and it just ripped. And he's like, oh, we don't do like returns. I'm like, what you mean you don't do returns? And he prints out this receipt and I'm guessing he wasn't expecting me to read it. So I read the receipt and I said, it literally says that you have this, that they accept returns, but you got discretion. So are you going to give me my money back or not? And he's like, nah, I'm not going to give you your money back. What you can do though, is you can wait 2 weeks from now when the tailor comes and then he's going to stitch it and then give it back to you. I'm like, nah, just give me my money back because this isn't even something a tailor can fix. And this is shit. So we get into an argument over it and the guy banned me from the store. And after he banned me from the store, I go back home and I call corporate office and I explain to them what happened and how the guy banned me from the store. And they're like, oh, we're sorry, but we still can't give you a refund.
That's
right?
great.
So I told the lady, I'm like, listen, if you bought a brand new pair of Converse or Nikes and the first day you put them on, they rip. And then you call Nike and then they tell you, no, we'll stitch it back to you and give it back to you. Would you be okay with that? This bitch told me yes. She told me yes. So you,
Of course you're gonna say that.
Right.
I'm like, listen, you buy something new and then now you just sold me something used. You know, I buy it like new, but then you give it to me used, right? So I'm like, okay, so if you had a phone, you get it, you bought a new iPhone, you get it at the box, the sound doesn't work. And then Apple's like, you know what? You know, we're not going to give you your money back, but what we can do is we can send this back to the factory. And if you wait 2 weeks, we'll send it right back to you.
They're going to send it to warranty repair instead of give you another one.
Yeah, yeah. And I'm like, would you accept that? Like, you just spent money on a new
Or
iPhone.
she said yes.
I was like, yeah, you know, it's not a big deal.
That's
I
just them.
couldn't cuss the lady out, but I'm just like, you know what? Just kind of
She's lying for her company, but that's the whole thing. She's not going to agree with you simply because they're paying her a check. You're not.
Right. And that's what
It mainly depends if the product can be repaired under the warranty or whether it's damaged or it's lost its value.
Well, if you got something and it ripped, like say I used to listening to this motivational thing and it was talking about how America is like so this, that, and the third. It was like you're buying toys for your kids that can't even withstand the strain of being unwrapped before it's broken, before something break on it. You know what I mean? And and like I said, that's not the whole thing because I don't want to become that guy, but at the same time, we shouldn't have to be like the little guy that these billion-dollar conglomerates could just take advantage of and say, "Ha, what are you gonna do?" You know what I mean? Like with the Bill Ackman thing. I'm sure a lot of you guys don't know who Bill Ackman is, but he's a billionaire and he has something to do with the opioid crisis and stuff like that. Made so much money off of billions of dollars, they only find him a couple $100 million. When you break the law at a certain status in life, you just get to pay your way out of jail. Opposed to a person that makes a mistake and you're not extremely rich, you have to go to jail.
Yeah. Bill Ackman, I know who you're talking about. That wasn't even the first time he got in trouble. You know, the white community be on his neck, and he got in trouble again during the pandemic for insider trading. So what he did is he put a bunch of options and he dumped them into the market. He put $2 billion in, and then the next day after the market dump, he sold them all. And then CNBC was asking him, well, you don't think what you just did was market manipulation? And he's like, well, you know, I was just a little concerned about it. And then, you know, I calmed down. And then people just kind of looked at him like, bro, are you serious? So you just dumped $2 billion. You made $1 billion on it. And then you turned around to trade the next day. And then you want to say that you weren't trying to manipulate anything.
Right.
So it's stuff like that. It's stuff like that. I know what you mean. It's a two-tier justice system.
Yeah. And furthermore, that's going to, because like I say, we didn't damn near started that conversation tonight, but like I say, the panel tomorrow night supposed to be a little bit more not verse, but diverse, for lack of a better term. But that's going to lead to is having dual citizenship or having a passport somewhere else. Is it worth it? Should you be able to have a backdoor to what's going on here? You know what I mean? So yeah, for sure.
I know what you ever get the feeling in America sometimes.
Drop your Cash App so my mom can run your Cash App, bro.
Okay, for sure.
So
with business, he'll drop everybody.
How deep do you really want to go into that topic?
Well, once again, right now you sound like what this is, open chat. You say, what's your Cash App? Open chat. I don't. Do I supposed to click on open chat, Ronan?
No, just give me your Cash App so I can, or drop it in your line.
It's at the bottom of the screen. It's on the ticker. Is Mr. Melopolis 601
right there? It's scrolling across the bottom of the screen. Hook him up. All right, go ahead.
For sure. Definitely appreciate that. But yeah, no, like I say, we you sound like KB last night when we was talking about, when I was bringing up tonight's subject. KB was ready to dive into it, but it's just the whole thing of, you know, what's going on here in this country. And are we as valued as we once was?
No, you're right, Charlie. You see, the problem that I tend to feel like with America is I think America, we reach a point where adults can't have adult conversations anymore, in my opinion. You know,
Well, they can censor you. They can censor you. Some people that come on the internet that they don't belittle anybody, they don't threaten anybody, they don't even use profanity, but because of what they're talking about, they get censored.
yep.
So that's something that we also got to tread a fine line on that, because I don't want no trouble.
Well, that
Was
was for the next. That's for the topic tomorrow. But what I was getting at, do you want to talk about like what they consider the elites that runs the world and stuff like that, or do you just want to stay in basic conversation within America?
Well, we don't have to get like super deep into it, because once again, this is the travel community. That's why I'm trying to link it to like dual citizenship and like having a plan B and things of that nature, because it's going to all tie back to traveling. But we don't want to get too specific on it, for one, to where like to speak about the powers that be, they have power. You know what I mean? More power than some of us just regular YouTubers out here that's trying to.
Yeah, so I was just trying to see where you was going, and so I know how to reword it in a different way where it pertains within to America itself.
Okay. And don't get me wrong, I still think America is a great place. Like, say, my whole goal is here just to set up my money system here to go and live my best life somewhere else. You know what I mean? So don't get me wrong, but
I don't hate America.
Yeah, I don't never want to come off as that. Ronan, you look like you wanted to add into that.
No, I mean, I'm coming back to America. What you mean?
Oh, okay.
Ain't permanent.
So yeah, no, that's my thing. I don't hate it, not even in the least bit. But it's just that my thing is when I go over to the DR and I see these people work twice as hard as Americans do, for the most part, on the surface part, that what it looks like, they work twice as hard as Americans do, just period, for less pay, and for some reason they seem happier. And that just got me to thinking, like, how are we in this rat race in one of the best countries that's to ever exist, and everybody's walking around like zombies? You know what I mean? There's no happiness involved. Like even when I be on the plane back to America, it's like, man, back to the grind.
My cousin has something that he said about that too. He said, the theory he had was, he was like, because he's from Haiti and he moved here. The theory he had is like, America is just an awful place to be poor, because you're surrounded by so much that you're reminded every single day what you don't have. But when you're in the DR, everybody's poor around you. Everyone you know is poor. Everyone is just trying to do everything they can. But when you're in a place where you can literally just leave your neighborhood.
A mindset. Let's get out of that, bro. I'm sitting in a country right now where they barely make $300 to $500 a month, and these motherfuckers got smiles on their faces and they're pleasant. That's a mindset. You're living toward whatever your society dictates as your fucking success, and you brought into it instead of thinking outside the box and understanding your happiness comes from you. You set your own level of expectation. Don't live towards somebody else's level of expectation.
Happiness begins from within yourself before you.
That's why you're fucking miserable, because you're living towards somebody else's goals and not your own. What is your fucking goal? Your level of success. I talk to millionaires all the time. What's your fucking number where you're going to stop and say, I got a fucking enough? Same thing with your happiness. Where are you getting your happiness from? Is it from your children? Is it from your job? What is it that causes you to be happy?
I like that. It
has nothing to do with I'm 6 figures, I'm over 6 foot. I have all those things. What's that got to do with anything? So many people commit suicide every day and they're fucking successful as hell. They got all the kind of money in the world. There were actors that killed themselves. Military guys killed themselves 27 a fucking day. So it's not about fucking money. Y'all got to get out your heads about that shit. You really need to get in your head and figure out what makes you happy. Stop living towards everybody else's perception of what success is and live towards your own. And then you'll walk around every day with a smile on your face.
Yep. I tell people I do what makes me happy, regardless what the world expects from me. If as long as I'm not hurting anybody, I'm going to do what makes me happy. No regrets. And if the
You know,
world don't
I
like it,
would
they-
agree with. Oh, my bad, Adam.
if the world disagrees with that, then they can stick it where the sun don't shine.
I mean, I tend to agree with Ronan for the most part, but a lot of and I think the key part to take from that is you need to figure out what it is for you and almost like deprogram, because from day one you almost, I think I related to, I seen this where y'all guys remember back in the day they was like wife swap, and like say this wife from a city
I remember
family
that show.
suburban. Say that again.
I said I remember that show. That shit was dangerous.
Yeah, it was, because here's the thing. I seen that and I almost learned a life lesson from it, because this suburban mom traded places with this Amish mom. And when she traded places with the Amish mom, she really felt bad that the kids was out there working all day and doing this all day, working in the field, and didn't have any games. So she told the husband, well, since I'm here, we got to do the things this way. No more kids working all day. She went to the store while they was out learning or working in the field and bought like game systems and TVs and stuff like that. It's just things for kids to do, I guess. And the kids told her, it wasn't even the father. The kids told us, like, this is what we think is fun. This is what we know to be our lives, and we are okay with that. And I'm saying that to say we have been brainwashed so much to where we think the path that we're on is happiness, and it's not. It's the pursuit of money.
Yep.
And
who
that
do you
don't
think-
equate to happy?ness.
What do you think put that pursuit in your mind? Society, corporations, whoever's
Yeah,
controlling the media.
Government,
Reset.
everything.
That was the whole idea behind education in the first place. If we really think about it, it was to educate you enough so you could work in the fucking factories.
Yeah.
What most people spend their whole life chasing money, and then when they finally have enough to enjoy life, they have not much life left to live to enjoy it. You know, you have to decide what's right for you. For every person, that is different.
And you guys are almost making me rethink the whole thing, just because I don't I don't want it to turn like into a hate thing to where it seems like I'm protesting, because here, like you guys, I've shared some of my medical history with you guys. And when I was younger and I was going through it, people's like, man, you got such a good attitude. I don't know if I was your age and I was going through what you was going through, I would be able to be as happy as you are. And I say, man, I'm just focused on years. And if this would happen to me 30, 40 years ago, it would have been a death sentence. You know what I mean? And I'm just lucky that, I think that happened last night too. Anytime you're ready to come back up, Ronnie, you welcome. But I was telling you, if this would have happened to me years ago, this would have been a death sentence. So I'm thankful that this technology exists for me to live longer, because otherwise I wouldn't even been here. And I was saying that one day while I was in the actual clinic and stuff, and it was a dude there beside me. He said years ago, he said, bro, it's people today that stay on the other side of the world that if this happened to them, it's a death sentence. It's not just what time it is, it's your location is too. So you could be thankful for that. I was like, damn. You know what I mean? So you never actually know. Go ahead.
What might break you, Charlie, what might break you might not break me. And that goes for Paul B, it goes for Ronan, and it goes for K9. Everybody has the limits and that certain tolerance for certain things, certain levels of tolerance for everything, and that varies between person to person.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, I feel like in America, for example, I feel like the average American citizen is nothing more than a tax number. And when you no longer have any value to the system, they ready to keep you on to the side.
Yeah, that's a fact, and I agree with that. But like I say, I don't know. I don't want to challenge people so much to where they feeling like extreme one way or the other. It's just another way of thinking about it. Having you a plan B, or having you a point of like how much is enough. You know what I mean? Like if I had to go somewhere and survive off $2,500 a month, could I do it? You know what I mean? Do I got and it all plays into finances, mindset, all of that. You know what I mean? Just because for me, I feel like I'm blessed just to wake up. I'm one of the most beautiful women that I've ever had the pleasure of having in my life, man. She was extraordinarily beautiful. I'm talking about beautiful skin, beautiful face. Her body was like a model. And I couldn't do it just because of her outlook on life. Like, say, for you to wake up mad, like, what did you dream about? For you to, in the morning, you mad. We ain't even said nothing, and you're mad. I can't do it. I'd rather
Get
looking female.
Get Ronan to talk about in the Philippines the women that have campo. He can tell you a lot about that.
Is that the same thing where you just wake up mad? I just can't do it because every morning, this is the way I look at that. I'll just say land is playing 15, 20 seconds. Mm-hmm. Every morning the world go to sleep or this side of the world go to sleep, somebody's not going to wake up. And I'm just happy my number wasn't called.
Facts.
That's enough to be happy about in my eyes. So there's that, but I digress.
There's people out in the world, it doesn't matter what you do for them, they're always going to be grateful.
Yeah, agreed.
But
I mean, my background is in insurance, so I talk to people every day about life and death, you know, and how short it can be and how quickly you're replaced. So once you start talking about that every day and you get into self-realization, you know, I've had different clients where they're so worried about their significant other, but they're the ones that contracted cancer and died. They're trying to cover the one person, and the other person died. You get what I mean? So there's all kind of comedy. Nobody knows anything, man. Actuarials are actuarial for a reason. You're actually literally figuring out life expectancy based on what you do every day. That's what an actuarial does. It just crunches numbers on the odds on you dying. That's what a life insurance policy is. They're betting on how long you're going to pay into the premium versus how long you're going to live. And based on your life, based on what you do, based on the extracurricular activities you do, and all those other factors, there's a number they have in their head, and they already know it.
And
you're not doing anything that has not been figured out in life. That's the thing. As you get into that realization, you're like, there's nothing in the world that you're doing different than somebody else that came before you. Literally. We're all hamsters in a fucking maze. You can pick and choose whatever direction you want to go. But believe me, all directions have been taken.
Your only value is if you can keep running on that hamster wheel. Once you can't do that, they're going to toss you in the trash can or flush you down.
No, the idea is to get off the hamster wheel and play your own game.
Yep. That's what I did.
Yeah. But how, though? You know what I mean? How is, I think, like, say, in a lot of cases, it's easier to tell a person to do something. Like, say, when I was in that probably was a lazy part of me. But when I played like sports in school, I've always gravitated to the coach that was out there. He's like leading from the lead, opposed to a leader that leads from the rear. Now I get war and reason why and things of that nature, but it does something different for your brain and your camaraderie and things of that nature. So how? Shout out to Tam. How you doing, love? But yeah, that's just my thing on that. Shout out to the panel, and the chat. Love me some Tam. But yeah, you can you hear me, Ronan?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Oh, okay. It just went silent for a minute, but yeah, no, and you guys know that's more or less what I'm pushing as well, is to become better men. You know what I mean? I think, like, say, we live in a society of weak men or weaker men. You know what I mean? To where, like, so much so to it's okay for a man to feel like he's a woman now. And I don't want to get into that because that's a whole different conversation. But over here, that's what I want to foster: men being men, us holding each other accountable, saying, "Oh, you said you're gonna do this and you didn't do it." You need to be held accountable.
Well, that's what's so complicated about it. There's no perfect formula that suits everybody. If it was, everybody would be happy in life.
I agree, but at the same time, would you also agree is certain ways that men need to carry themselves? Because it's certain being a man is dangerous. That's why I always use the formula, the synopsis, or the metaphor of if you and another man was sitting across from the bar and he kept on staring you in your face, it'll feel like danger so much to where you have to be like, why? And it'll be different than if that man was a beautiful, attractive woman looking in your face. It's different. So by that, I'm saying men have different guidelines and bylaws that we have to follow. Just like when we was in Colombia, one of the friends that was with us, he was talking about he was a guy of shorter stature. He was like, a dude just walked up to him and snatched him up. And then when other people started paying attention, he started laughing, talking about he just playing. I said, bro, I don't care where you at in the world. A man snatching up another man is never a playful thing. You can't go to Afghanistan and snatch a man up. You can't go to China and snatch a man up. It's something that's universal about that. So we got universal rules as men that we got to abide by, in my opinion.
Well, yeah,
I see what you're saying, Charlie, but I think it's more like how do I explain this? I see what you're talking about, but I see what's going on really is, most things nowadays are detached from their consequence. You might only get consequences for something that you persistently do, or if you do something wrong, you might only see consequences years down the line. For a famous example of this is maybe I don't want to get political, but the president too. There was a time where he's known down here in South Florida where he could hire you for a job, you do the job, and he just doesn't pay you. And there's a lot of people down here who went bankrupt. Now, if you were in Haiti and you did something like that, or somewhere where you have like a tight knit community, you get killed for something like that easily. There was somebody who,
I forgot. Let's stop using those type of terminology.
sorry. You would get like deleted for something like that.
Deleted,
Yeah. So it's like over here, it's kind of like you can have a situation where you're in an argument, someone slaps you. If you do something back, you both could go to prison. So now people are just kind of like more wary, where it's just like, even though you might know that the other person is wrong for what they did, they might have lawyers or they might have something to where you just back off. And the thing that would have corrected that person at that moment, the consequences, that person never gets to experience it because they're protected.
Well, I get that, but we have to agree just because something is accepted don't make it right.
Oh, of course. But I'm saying, like, you could see it visually sometimes when you look at, what Gen Z and young people are like looking at, even streamers, for example. Like, let me give you an example. There was a streamer, I think like a few years back, what he would do is he would record himself going to like a restaurant, and then he would just start stealing their tips, stealing these people's tips. I don't know what country you couldn't do that in a place like Colombia. People would stomp on you, right? Like you couldn't do that. But America's becoming such a place where it's like you can do practically almost anything, and you're not gonna face immediate consequences. People are gonna like restrain themselves, and then that person will go out and do the same thing over and over again because they never really dealt with real consequences for the actions that they did.
I get that, but I think that comes from a lot of sways in leadership, because that's still a thing to where if you wrong a community, that community will deal with you. Like I spoke about the favelas in Brazil, there's zero crime there because there's no tolerance for crime. You break their laws there, your consequences is unaliving. You see what I'm saying? I get that. Like in the community to where people that wrong children, there's no, and it could be proven that you're wrong for children. I'm not just saying a woman accuse you, but it could be proven that you wronged a child. The penalty is unaliving. We'll have a lot less of that, opposed to you thinking this human being could be rehabilitated. We live in a world, we live in a society to where a person that is involved in a non-victim crime will get a harsher penalty to a person that took advantage of a child. So just because it's accepted, don't make it right.
Hey Charlie, Chairman, I want to say I appreciate you having me. Yep, I gotta take off. Shout out to Rolling Travel. Shout out to who's this expat
Adam.
and okay and Cardi B. All right, man. Shoot, I think y'all Carl and thanks for having me up, bro. I really
Man,
appreciate it.
anytime, K9, you know, anytime that you see me in this my panel, bro, feel free to pull up, man. My panel, your panel, bro, and I sincerely appreciate you pulling up and sharing the game with me as you've done numerous of times before.
All right, much love and respect.
Nice meeting you.
Yeah.
Nice too.
With that, also, guys, with that being said, too, I'm gonna close out in a few minutes. I didn't went already like almost an hour over.
I won't say anything more. Thanks for having me on the panel.
No, you good. Like I say, we could go ahead and close out on this one, but like I say, I don't.
Whether you're a man or a woman, you are. Life is a never ending learning experience. You always got to work with your mind, your body, and your soul. You have to remove all the noise that's happening in the world. You have to look within yourself at the things that truly you value and that makes you happy. And you work on those. And how do you work on those? You do it through small, consistent steps to reach goals in life. Mm-hmm. Are you going to have setbacks? Are you going to feel like giving up? Sure, it happens to everybody. That's why I say success is paved with the failures of those who do not give up on themselves. And that's easier said than done.
Yeah. But let's just if I could just put things in the context more. I think the more that men was accepted as men, society was better off. Even if we looked in, like, say, the let's just say the white community back in the day, the men that they had to look up to was Chuck Norris. You know what I mean? Like, Chuck Norris was a man's man. Like, say they got Chuck Norris jokes about how tough he was. They was like, they could never name a street Chuck Norris. And the person like, why? Because nobody would ever cross Chuck Norris. You know what I mean? Things like that. Like, back in the day, like, say we had people to look up to, like Wesley Snipes,
Bruce Lee, Arnold Schwarzenegger.
All of them was being men. Nowadays, we got women that's in these movies that's killing. Can't say the K with that word, but they're physically beating up 10 trained men.
And we all know it is fantasy.
Yeah, we all know it's fantasy, but this is what they're feeding our youth. This is what she could do it too. God didn't make her like that. She could outdo men in certain things, but not in this.
Modern society is teaching everyone to hate men for just being themselves. And they're not a bad person. You know, they're just trying to be a good person, that not letting anybody take advantage of them. They're just trying to live life like everybody else. Yeah. Now now everything is the man's fault, yet the woman, when it comes to women, a lot of times they get away with the actions because they're women, they're emotional and stuff like that. They're not held accountable.
Yeah, you know the thing too, because you touched on something good there too, Adam. And this is something that I really believe, and I've told people this for years, because I remember when I was in high school, I was 14 or 15 at the time, and I had a buddy who was the same year as me. He used to play basketball. We're talking in the hallway, and he was telling me this woman was 32 or 33 with 3 kids. She was a substitute teacher, and he's like, oh, you know, I can't believe I lost Miss Daniels' phone number. I'm like, what you mean you lost her phone number? It's like, yeah, you know, she gave me her phone number that one time and, you know, said to call her and stuff like that, but I just didn't call her. And I'm like, what? You know, and you see a lot of those situations where I really do believe that there is like a whole class of some of the most dangerous women out there. Dangerous like you wouldn't believe, but because society doesn't see that from a woman, or they don't think it exists, we just kind of we just ignore it. Like, I think the current case that's going on in the government, that lady, that, you know, the Voldemort's wife, bro. I
That sounds
think
like Harry Potter.
because I can't say his name. I can't say his name.
Oh,
You know, because
okay.
YouTube, you know, Voldemort's wife.
Right.
I think she's probably one of the most evil people on this planet. But when people see like a very feminine face, it like their mind goes to sleep. That is me
Yeah,
though.
for sure. Yeah, no, for sure. And like say, I'll say this, and then we can start to close out. I think, like say, decline of society and things of that nature. Like say, and I can tell you, like this is something that I've just necessarily seen. Participation trophies. Like I remember when they tried to give my brother's son some participation trophies, and he went the hell off. He was like, "Why the hell are y'all giving them trophies? They lost." Losers don't deserve trophies. If they get trophies for losing, what's going to be the incentive to get better? You don't need no participation trophy. You know you participated. Why would you want a room full of 8th place trophies? It's only 8 places to get. And you in the last one and you got a trophy. But the difference is when a boy loses and his mom's there, when the game is over, the mom talk about how the referee didn't like the team. The mom talk about how the other kid on the kid on the other side of the ball, like he was much bigger, didn't look like he was their age. Opposed to a father being there, it's like, no, y'all lost because you wasn't playing your part. The defense was weak. You kept on letting him do the same thing over and over again. No, we're not going to McDonald's. We're going to run some drills. It's a difference.
Yeah,
What it do,
I agree.
Rico? You want to chime in on that, Ronan?
On which one?
Just the whole thing, like I was saying, Charlie, a good dad. And the crazy thing about it is, I got a little girl. You know what I mean? So I've been very active in my nephews' and them lives and things of that nature. But I teach. You know what I told my daughter about dating and picking a boyfriend? I
What's
said,
that?
pick somebody for you that you would pick for your daughter. So if you accept it for you, you are essentially accepting it for your daughter.
Right.
You don't want her being with a hoodlum, you don't be with a hoodlum. And I try to be the man that I would want her to type of pick. I try to carry myself well, speak well, be respectful, and demand my respect.
That's the sad part of the world.
And
A
here's
lot
the
of
thing.
people today chase shortcuts that steals tomorrow's progress. They go after the shortcuts because it's in the now, it's easy, but in the long run, it winds up hurting them in the future.
I don't even know if that's true. That last part anyways.
And on the way.
Oh, I've been seeing a lot of people destroy their lives.
I know, but like when at least for my generation, when I look at people like, you know, the famous people that we all kind of know about, like a Logan Paul, or we look at someone like Kim Kardashian, like you look at someone who, by every stretch, you would think like they did everything wrong, and that, you know, society tells you you're not supposed to be like them, but they seem to be living lives that people dream of. When people see that, they're like, why do I have to be like that when I can be like that and achieve this success? I could be like that and be like a streamer and, you know, make all this money and do what I want to do anyway.
But that's not a proven road to success, though.
You said Kim Kardashian, and who's the other person?
Logan.
The
He's
Paul
another.
brother.
Yeah.
See, what might blow your mind, I never watched them, nor care to watch them, because I don't base my life on what other people do.
I mean,
Now,
but that's
if I want to get ahead in the life, I look at people doing the things that how I want my life to be, and then I ask them for the advice, the ones that are successful.
Mm-hmm.
It's like dating. If you're going to date somebody or get in a marriage, or you're going to ask somebody that is constantly breaking up and having broken relationships, had tons of divorces and stuff like that, or are you gonna look at somebody that is successfully dating for many years, or somebody that has been married for long? Which one you think is gonna give the best advice?
It depends on who you're emulating, though. Who do you think is actually successful in that? What's your idea of what that person's success level is compared to your own morals and ethics? There's a lot of things you can do for money, but who are you looking up to?
Well, take for example, like if you've been divorced several times, and mainly that happens because a lot of times people ignore red flags. You know, sometimes it's just the other person changes and all that. But you have to, most people that are successful, like even with money, you're not going to talk to somebody that's flat broke. You're going to talk to people, you're going to learn from people that has the experience or like that. Like when we was talking about, like rental property stuff like that. When I first started that, I got me a financial advisor to help me. I kind of knew what I wanted to do. I kind of knew that it worked, but I wasn't sure about all the details. I didn't know all the information. I ain't going to go to somebody that don't own houses to tell me how to run. I'm going to go to an expert or somebody that has the experience in it. And their advice is based on their life experiences and stuff that they learn. Brother. But it also doesn't mean that it's right for you. You have to determine what's right for you in the end.
I see what you're saying, Adam, but when people, even in the property game or whatever, you know, I see people more gravitating towards someone like Grant Cardone than, you know, going and talking to their financial advisors.
Well, what I will say about that, I'm pretty sure it's in the book of Richest Man in Babylon, when they was talking about like diamonds and like even horse racing and stuff like that. They said, don't go to a brick mason to understand how diamonds are. Go to the diamond man to understand how diamonds work. Don't go to a blacksmith to understand horse racing. Go to the horse racer to understand horse racing. You know what I mean? Because everything looked good from the outside looking in, but a lot of people, it just sounds good. You know what I mean? So there's that. That's why I say over here at least is I try to be that example that I preach. You know what I mean? But
hey, you gotta read that.
Coming from the Gangster Lifestyle. Shout out to the Gangster Lifestyle.
Salute to Gangster Lifestyle, my brother. Happy birthday to you. His birthday's tomorrow, even though he did a live cast tonight. Salute to you, brother. He said, "Yo, I'm on silent, so I can't hear what y'all are saying, but I'm just letting you know, don't ever let Yoga on your panels. He showed explicit content on my panel tonight, and this is his birthday panel. I thought you weren't gonna let him up, bro. I thought you were like, no Yoga tonight. What happened?
Damn, I'm sorry to hear that, bro.
I left the room. He had Danica Marie come in the room and show him some love. He had some people.
Shout out to Big Games, man. Another big dog in this space, man.
But happy birthday.
Yeah, I remember when I was in the room earlier before I left, you were like, nah, Yoga, don't, like, you ain't coming up. And then what you do? Change your mind, and then he just did you up, huh?
They say you gotta listen to your first mind, but
yeah, bro, you should have
listen to your gut instincts.
Yeah, you should have kept him off your. Yeah, I know. Look, Yoga brings a lot of controversy and toxicity sometimes. Even though he can talk on a high level as far as intelligence, he still comes with some pain and suffering from whatever he has to deal with in his life, bro. I have to tell you that. I get that energy from him all the time. And you would think from somebody that's trained to be a fighter and learn how to release some of that shit, he would come with a calmer demeanor. And unfortunately, he doesn't. Comes with a very aggressive demeanor. All right, no problem. You don't have to come up, but I appreciate you letting us know. I haven't let him up on one of my panels in a while, but yeah, I can't believe he did that. He did that on purpose then, but he's been messy for a while now.
Oh, wow.
He's in the rooms and dropping people's information that you're not even clear if he wanted to drop it. Like he came in a room one night and he did a thing where it wasn't even the conversation. It wasn't the topic. He goes, shout out to BMT Live. His girlfriend's pregnant. And congratulations on his marriage. I'm like, wait a minute. What the fuck? Why would you come in a whole room that has nothing to do with that and start dropping information on somebody else?
That's crazy.
Wow.
I tell everybody, anything you don't want anybody to know, do not tell a soul.
Well, no, I think what Ronan is saying, you come to a whole nother man's platform to shout out somebody else's platform, and you don't even know like how he feels about that.
Dirt. Yeah, being messy.
Right.
That's not necessarily a thing you're supposed to be doing, but hey, but yeah.
That's like with the gentleman that came over here to tell on Uncle Rico, like, nigga, I'm not his principal. What you want me to do?
Right.
I can't suspend him from
you
YouTube.
talking about Carlos Red. You talking about Carlos Red at this point.
Yeah, he's a weird, like he's no longer like welcome over here, but man, shout out to him. You know what I mean? It's just then he telling me, tell him to come on my channel and debate me. Oh, I see what this is now. Yeah, no, we're not gonna do that, sir.
I say something untrue about you, and then you got to come in to debate me and clear up your name while I get the views from it.
Right. So yeah, no, shout out to my good brother Prime.
Probably one of the hardest things to do is learning how to channel your emotions into creating a positive outcome. And it's very hard.
Well, if I'm being honest, like far as this channel go and things of that nature, some of the best lives that I had is with a brother. I don't want to say his name just because we're past that phase, but is a brother coming up and just starting a lot of chaos over here, and people obviously gravitate to take chaos, but that's not what I'm trying to build over here. That's not what I'm trying to foster. If I was just trying to get numbers and things of that nature, sure, why not? But I'm trying to build something. Like I think I was taught down south, any structure in the world is predicated on its foundation to be how strong it's going to be. So if you build something on a weak foundation, the whole structure is going to be weak. So I had to nip that in the bud right away. Even though we did numbers, that's not something that I could sustain.
Right.
Yeah. A house will crumble if it's built on a weak foundation. It always starts. Well, actually, it starts with. But
this is consistency of character and morality. You say you're one thing and then you turn out to be a whole nother thing. Then you become the wolf in sheep's clothing. You were never that person to begin with. You lied to get where you were, and now where you're at, and you have the availability. Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to say this, Charlie. I know you look up to him. Anton Daniels does that on a consistent basis. He flip-flops a lot on his word as a person.
I wouldn't say I look up to him though. That's a little bit.
I know. Okay, I'm going to let you define it the way you define it. I know you're on his bag chasers. The only reason I said that.
Well, yeah, for sure. And I've been part of that because, like I say, when I originally signed up for it, he was giving some tax game in. Right. Just because, like I say, just because a dude, like I got friends to where I would take them to, like, say, if something went down and I had to go and we got physical with some people, like far as fisticuffs, I would take this certain amount of people, this certain person with me. But if it comes to going to a business meeting, this is not the person I'm taking to a business meeting. I got another friend for that. Just to say that all people are not for all situations, and saying that about Anton Daniels, he's not for everything. But when it comes to business, when I hear him talk and I listen to the game that he put down and he does shows receipt, he tend to be like on point with that. But far as a person that's like keep their word and stuff like that, he's probably not that guy. And he has switched and flipped and stuff like that far as a public image, but that just is what it is. But I wouldn't say I look up to him.
Oh, okay.
What's the sad thing is, what's the sad thing is misery creates profit and business is good. People buy into the drama and stuff like that. Most people ain't worried about that you having a happy life with your wife. They want to hear that she's divorcing you, taking everything that you have, cheating on you and stuff like that. They want to hear the drama part. They don't want to hear the good stuff. Mm-hmm. And the other thing, a lot of people sell drama, clicks and views. sell soft porn on YouTube and stuff for clicks and views. Sell
I think we got to
fantasies
say
for clicks
corn.
and
We got
views.
to say corn with the C.
Okay, soft porn.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, and that would like say we seen the person channel get took for that because he's doing exactly what you described, but like
Ganio or Gumio? That guy, right?
Yeah, that dude. That
Charlie.
yes,
Like
sir.
you can do like two streams. You can do one on YouTube and you can do another one on Kick. It's
Right.
called Kick. On YouTube, you talk about the
yeah,
general
yeah.
stuff.
Yeah,
But-
don't go on detail on that. You don't have to go on detail with that. We get it. Yeah, you can sign with
On Kick, you can be a little bit more open
Right.
with what you say.
Right. I've heard that, and I am going to sign up for those alternative platforms. Like shout out to the good brother Ronan. He helped me to see like, bro, if you're making the content anyway, why not put it in other places? It's already made.
Well, like Kick is done with live streams, so that's good for the live streams. That's what you're mainly doing right now.
Okay.
They also have another one called, I think it's called Rumble.
Yeah.
And
the one I
and I'm not sure what their policies
I
are.
do Rumble and YouTube at the same time when I go live. When I go live on my channel. And the Rumble is almost the same rules. You only need 5 subscribers to be monetized on Rumble. 5. That's it. You're 100% monetized. Now, you're not going to get full monetization if you're simulcasting on YouTube because they want to market your stuff to YouTube and they'll give you a kickback on that. But if you're not worried about monetization as far as you're getting views right now, then it's just another exposure. What you can do on Rumble, though, is if you want to do, like, I'm going to do a new show on Rumble that deals with game theory. In game theory, I want to show different game shows and why people make choices, irregardless of what their needs are. Like, let's say Mr. Beast has a game called Beast Games, right? You can win $5 million. People will get down to player number 10 out of 200. All of a sudden, they'll throw themselves on the knife because they think the person next to them deserves money. You don't went through 180 people to get down to the final 20, final 10, and then you're going to eliminate yourself because you feel like somebody else. Then why did you waste your time? You should have took the payout a long time ago and got out the game. You get what I mean? But the reality behind the heroism, being on camera, this is all game theory. But on that show that I'm going to do on Rumble, I can actually show the actual episode because there's no copyright violation. You can show movies on Rumble. There's no copyright violation. So you can get away with a lot more. A lot of people that get kicked off of YouTube go to Rumble because there's not a lot when it comes to the copyright violations on playing real, like, recent information, movies, or whatever. It doesn't matter. You can simulcast that on Rumble.
But maybe you can answer this. I still believe right now YouTube is probably the best platform to make money as a content creator. Is that still true, or has that changed?
To tell you the truth, I would say OBS.
OBS?
Best platform, not platform, but app that you can use because it's independent. You can get money directly paid to you through OBS. It doesn't matter what channel you're on, whether you're simulcasting through OBS on YouTube or Rumble or whatever. It has its own pay system.
I have to look.
For 10% on OBS through PayPal. So
I heard.
yes, you're only paying 10% out of whatever your profits are on gifting, versus YouTube or somebody else is taking 30 to 40%, depending on the situation. You know, so
I heard.
Cash App is the best way. Obviously, Cash App or somebody paying directly into your PayPal, you're barely getting anything taken out of your percentage. Like when I get my checks on the 21st, obviously YouTube is getting their cut first. They didn't do anything to make that. They're a hosting platform that gets paid out. That's what they're gaming, you know?
Yeah. I heard people talking about OBS on other lives, but I never really looked into it. I have to.
Well, you can use
research
it to simulcast on, like I use Restream. And you can simulcast on a whole bunch of channels all at once. The main
Oh,
thing
that's
is
what's up.
the act that you're doing is like OBS will do the same thing as Restream, but OBS has its own direct pay system. You're not relying upon Rumble. You're not relying upon YouTube. You can just push everybody to your PayPal, or whatever other paywall that you got, your Cash App or whatever you have set up outside of that. You can even run them to, like I have, Buy Me a Cup of Coffee. That's outside of YouTube. YouTube does not control that. You get that money.
I've seen that.
You get that money instantaneously, like you would know, Charlie. When somebody sends you a Cash App, you ain't got to worry about YouTube.
Listen,
You ain't got to worry about YouTube taking 30% off your top. You get what
that's
I'm
why.
saying?
My apologies. I didn't mean to cut you
No,
off. No, that was saying that's why I'm kind of skeptical because, like, say, I do have a couple supporters here and there, and like, say, especially when I was running my marathon, like to know what YouTube would have took from that is almost like it's almost discouraging. You know what I
It
mean?
is.
Like,
You got to wait for your money. It's not instantaneous. You got to wait
not
till
even
you're
just wait for them to take 30% of it and they didn't do anything. That's come on, man. That's like I'm on the block and I'm hustling your pack or something.
That's why
Like
a lot of people push. That's why a
Sounds
lot
like the government.
That's why a lot of people push their Cash Apps, their Patreons. That's why they push their PayPals. They push whatever paywall they want you to run through outside of YouTube. They run their affiliate marketing links through YouTube and get you outside of YouTube to pay them.
Yeah.
You get what I mean? Because they don't want that involvement. You don't have to have YouTube take your money. You can have them, and people that are loyal to you will go and hit that paywall. They'll go hit PayPal. They'll go hit the Cash App. They'll go do what they need to do because they understand. Why would you want YouTube to take your money? They're supporting you, not YouTube.
Exactly.
Well,
So the biggest thing about YouTube is really before you even monetize, you should be affiliate marketing. You should have your own like shirts and everything that you can put people on behind a LinkedIn link. And not a LinkedIn link, but a Linktree link, and take them to your server where they can buy your T-shirts and your merch and all that other stuff outside of YouTube, and that gets negotiated through whoever you got your merch going through. You know, the big thing YouTube is getting your base and then marketing to them outside of the YouTube paywall.
Yeah.
That's how you really.
What I
Charlie,
was going to say about that? Yes, sir.
You remember when I was talking about taking care of the stray dogs in my area and maybe possibly buying land and stuff? I did the video on that. And then there I was talking about, I said I deal with a lot of stuff. It'd be sometimes nice to have a little extra help with money and stuff like that for donations and stuff like that. That actually shows some of the dogs that I was helping and stuff like that. Also on my channel, I show where we had the flood in October, where I was up there helping doing things, help sandbagging and placing the sandbags, stuff like that, and helping families. Well, I didn't show the families or anything like that, but help them clean up. If they didn't have the money to fix the homes or whatever, I'll help them out a little bit and stuff like that. So,
Yeah, no, I'm with that. I'm definitely with that. And like I say, it's a beautiful thing because, like, and let's just say putting things in context before, like lame and lamer. That's what I call fresh and fit. They lame and lamer. You know, they say they were some of the top. What's that say? Super chatted community on YouTube, like millions of dollars, and they blew it. And I'm like, wow, if they was getting all of that, like through Cash App, it probably would have like tremendously changed their bank accounts, even though they were still good and things of that nature. But what I was going to ask you, Ronan, how do you feel about us doing a? I guess I could talk to you about that in the back office, so we don't have to.
If you're talking about doing a collab, we can do collabs all day.
I'm with that, man, because I really want to know like the T-shirt thing, because I have been working on some merch because I do my research, and they do say there's other ways to make money around YouTube other than just YouTube.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm like, I want to get into like the T-shirt thing, like, because I know you were saying that you would utilize a print on demand type of company, right?
Yeah. There's I think it's Amazon. You can get like a promotion gift code where like you promote like Amazon.
Link.
And if somebody use your gift code and buy us through Amazon, you get a small percentage, like 1 to 3%.
Well, it
of
depends on the
profit.
product. It depends on your product, first of
Okay.
all. If you're in electronics, you're getting a certain percentage. If you're selling a book, you get a certain percentage. It depends on that. You get an Amazon affiliate link. You can market your own products. You can pick certain products you want to market yourself. You use your affiliate link. You can run those through either your description or whatever you want to do. But the trick is, it's like a lost leader for somebody to pull you into a store for a sale, right? If they go into there on your link, even though they might buy something you did not market, anything in that basket, when they push buy, you get the percentages on those commissions.
Yeah, I seen
Doesn't
something.
matter what it is. So
Yeah.
that's a great thing about the affiliate link. When they go in to buy, if they're in a buying mood, not only are they going to click on your product, but other products in that room. At the time when they buy, if you're the affiliate that brought them in the room, you get the associated commission with whatever brought them in that room that they bought.
Mhm. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's why I say I love this community, man. I definitely do, man, because it's not like people be over here trying to gatekeep and you know what I mean. Oh, I don't want to see you do well because I want to do well too. Like it's enough room for everybody to eat and gain weight, so to speak.
Well,
That just means
I
we
say-
can do it when we're gaining weight. But go ahead.
I say living overseas, I'm in a position where I don't have to worry about money. I have, like, if I didn't make any income, I'll probably have more than enough to live the rest of my life here. The thing is, so when I was starting my YouTube channel, it wasn't really about making money, which, you know, I'm not making money anyway. It's small. It's nothing. It's nothing at all. But if it ever came, if it ever became something, if I made any money from it, most of that money would go into helping people in true need and stuff like that. And of course, you know, if multiple people, or I have to hire people to help out, because most people don't donate their time. You have to pay people to help you and stuff like that. But as far as like generating revenue for me, I'm not really too concerned about doing that. I'm not rich, but you know, I'm happy and content.
You know,
Yeah.
but like I said, there's so many different angles once you have a YouTube channel. You know, the biggest thing is you're a traveler, right? As long as you're filming your content and you're documenting your travels on YouTube, do you know you can write off or offset the cost of your flight, your hotel, your food, your excursion? All that shit can be written off. So at the end of the day, if you're doing it right, most of your trip bounced against your YouTube AdSense. Say you don't make a fucking dime off of your travel, that's a net loss.
Yeah.
That you get to run up against your earned income. So instead of you paying for a trip and actually taking the loss on the trip, not getting any YouTube, anything, it doesn't go against your earned income. But people don't think like that. Well, it was just a trip I'm going to go to. No, you just made a content. It just became business. Now you can write that shit off against your real income.
Yeah.
Well, just because I'm actually looking into that now, that actually come with some caveats, and like just say I'm not an expert in it, nor do I claim to be. This is not financial advice or internet.
Bro,
entertainment.
your mind is like really going crazy. Your mind, you ain't got no minds, man.
Yeah, no, I was waiting on Tam to handle that. I was just like, Tam, could you handle that?
I just read that shit. I was like, oh man,
Yeah. I was waiting on Tam to handle that.
Wow.
Cause she usually be on it right away. Tam don't she don't play.
Wait, what happened?
There's a comment in his room.
Trolls. That's what it is, trolls.
Well,
Tam,
let's
should I?
just say, like, for example, I'll start. Just say, for example,
Tam, either one of you guys, just if you want to.
I think you can bounce them out yourself. All you have to do is go into StreamYard and get rid of them.
Either StreamYard or you can go on YouTube.
Oh, it says he's on an airplane. Oh shit! Where are you flying to, Tim?
Oh, Tam, stay on the move.
Yeah, I know she acted like that.
Just say for
Go ahead.
just say for example, I'll start blowing up on YouTube and start getting money. Since I don't know all the nuances of that, I'll do like I did with my property. When I decided to buy properties, I'll probably talk to a financial advisor about it. You know, if it's enough revenue, I'm generating enough revenue from it. And
Well, like I
he'll
said,
tell-
once you're monetized. If you're monetized on your YouTube channel and you're documenting your travels, that's a simple right.
yeah, I agree on that.
Off your clothing, whatever you're wearing, all that shit is a percentage off.
Yeah,
your
Hotel,
what I
lodging,
was gonna say about
food,
that, though, because I'm actively
transportation.
looking into that. You have to document it as it goes. You cannot do it all and then document it on the back end because that hold little to no weight. You have to do it as you go.
You know what your documentation is? Your
They say your
visible
receipts and stuff like
content
that, but
on
you have
YouTube.
to go ahead.
Listen. Your documented information is the visible content you publish on YouTube. That's all you need to document. You have a YouTube channel. It's an LLC, a non-LLC. It's personally owned, right? Wholly owned subsidiary of you, right? And you're trying to, once you get monetized, it now becomes a business, right? You're getting a payout. Taxation, right? So you offset against your earnings, what it costs, your net gain on that, and that's your write-off.
Yeah.
Against your
Brian,
income.
is that
If
true? Or
you're
that's
not making
one of
money-
your mods.
That's my
Uncle
mod.
Guns? Oh,
Uncle
okay,
Guns
shout
is
out
my mod. He's been around forever. He's been around
shout out to
old
him. Like that makes sense.
Bedfield or Manosphere stuff. That he's the salt of the earth when it comes to mods.
Yeah.
I
That is
don't-
true what Ronan is saying. I guess the only caveat is as long as it's above your standard deduction. So if you're spending more than say 13,000 in charity and travel, then it would make sense. If
Well,
not,
let me see if I can show this one lady. I've been watching her content for some time now, and she's like a professional tax person. She generally will come up in. Oh, there she go. See, she come up in my algorithm. She talk about
Yeah, Asian lady, and she like a black hair Asian kind of lady.
yeah. I think she's like Latin or something. Her right there. Let me see if
I
I,
think I know what you're talking about.
oh,
He disappeared.
Knock yourself out.
Yeah, I'm glad that I brought up some of the things I was talking about because by bringing it up, it helped me learn new things that I didn't know, and I really appreciate that. That's how you learn, and that's how you grow.
Yep, you have a in-home studio. Like I had a whole second bedroom in my house that was a studio.
Yeah, right now this is my bedroom.
My computer
I sleep in.
system, my audio system, all that shit went off as a write-off.
Yeah.
You know, from
Well-
my
So yeah, we
Right.
could definitely talk about that more, especially if you have done it. You know what I
Maybe.
mean? Because I would rather talk to somebody that have done it opposed to a person that's speaking in theory. Because from what I was told or from what like I learned from her, my Brazil trip, because I didn't like document it at the time of doing it or even my camera and stuff. That I was
your credit card, your hotel stay, your food, everything is already documented. You forget you're all digital nowadays. You can go
Keep the
back
receipts.
and pull. You don't even need your receipts.
well, everything's on credit
Bank
card. You
statement.
guys know I'm a big
Right.
credit card guy.
Right. Everything can be pulled up. The history can be bounced against your content and time frames and everything else. The IRS wants to go and look at your fucking YouTube channel. That's all they have to do. It's verifiable. You stayed at a certain place. You spent this money on that during that time frame.
So
They
Ron,
ain't trying to
real quick,
microscope your
this is
shit.
something
Let's
to
put it
where
that way.
you have already like done your taxes on it and you have reaped the
Mm-hmm.
benefits of what you're speaking of now, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what's up.
Ronan's talking from experience.
anyways, good night, guys. It's about 12:30 here. I gotta go to work today.
I mean, yeah.
You guys
No
have
problem.
a good night.
Shout out to you.
All right,
Hey,
take care, kid.
what's up, brother?
Yeah.
And listen, I've been 1099 since 2011, bro. I don't work for people. People pay me to work with them. That's what insurance is. You're 1099. You're responsible for your own taxation. You're responsible for your own expenses. You're responsible for everything, even though you're selling somebody else's fucking product and using their name.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So I've been 1099 forever. What you think? I'm writing off my car expenses, my home office, everything that I'm doing. I'm writing that shit off against my earnings because I don't want to pay Uncle Sam a damn dime.
Right.
The game is not how much you make a year; it's how much you keep, and you have
That's
to
a fact.
offset
I know
some of
that.
your earning income with write-offs. You make six figures and you're taking some trips, and you got a side hustle which is called YouTube, and you're documenting your trips. Guess what? Write that off against your fucking earned income.
Yeah.
But you don't think like that. And if you're not
Well-
sitting there telling your CPA, hey, by the way, I have a YouTube channel and I've been taking trips and I've been documenting my trips, and I actually have content right here proving I was here, there, and there. And all he's going to say is, give me your credit card receipts, give me your flight information, give me. You give him all that stuff, he'll take that as an offset against your income based on
So-
how much you paid on your YouTube AdSense. If you didn't make a dime but you're monetized, that's a net loss.
Well, let me ask you this. I mean, because that is
So,
but
a person
I'm
starting-
not monetized, Ronan, but I have
once
made
you do,
money
yeah.
from my Cash App from YouTube. Is that also the same thing, or do I have to be monetized?
No. If you're making money, you're making money. But the whole thing is, what is your outlay right now against your Cash App?
I don't. Get
You're
what
not
you mean.
upside down yet. You get what I'm saying? The Cash
yeah.
App
So-
is profit.
So somebody starting out on YouTube, could they use that as a tax write-off if they promote
I'm not a
videos
tax.
and
I
trying to?
check with your CPA. If you did any kind of investment, like you got a Rodecaster Duo sitting here for your microphone, you got a computer, you got a lighting system, you got all this shit set up, lights in the back. Those are things that you built for a home business, right? Don't have to be an LLC. That's your own personal own business. So even though you're pulling in Cash App, did you pull in enough Cash App to pay yourself back for that equipment? And then what's the net receipts on your equipment? And what is the law when it comes to camera equipment? How long can you depreciate that? Is that an instant depreciation, or do you have to depreciate it over 5 years? Those are the things the CPA has to answer for you. But if you can show
okay.
a net thing of receipts of all the equipment you brought because you just started a brand new business, even though you're not monetized, here's my initial outlay for my investment for my business. Here's all I did in Cash App receipts, because you can pull it. Cash App sends you a monthly receipt because now they're tracking Cash Apps, right? The government is now tracking your Cash Apps and your PayPal. That's why you get a fucking monthly report through your Cash App and your PayPal now. So then you can take that report saying, hey, I received this amount of Cash Apps. Here's how much I spent at the beginning of the year for all my equipment. I haven't turned a profit where I'm monetized yet. How much of this can I write off against the receipts of my initial investment? But check with your CPAs. But yes, you can write something off.
I'm still checking to see if Thailand still has it, but they had they had introduced what they called a digital nomad visa. in
Yeah, they
Thailand.
do have a digital nomad visa, and then they even have a YouTube / type of visa too. I think they just introduced. They have one here in the Philippines as well. Not only digital nomad, but here's the thing with the Philippines. The Philippines is like, look, we're not messing with your YouTube money. So that's not even considered a business here.
So yeah, I understand.
Yeah, for sure, man. Like I say, this is how, and I think Ronan, bro, you such a mastermind, because like I be like, I'm finna get off. Ronan be like, I'm finna pull up and drop some of this game on him, see what he gonna do then. You know? So, shout out to you, Ronan, man, because man, like I say, once again, you're a treasure trove of knowledge, man. And I appreciate it because you seem like you're speaking from a place of experience and not just research. A lot of things that I speak from, like when I talk about credit cards and things of that nature, I'm speaking from experience. Although it is a lot of research that goes into it, I speak from my my research. My experience. So to speak to somebody else that's also operating like that, it's like almost like a breath of fresh air. Like he's not telling me something that's supposed to be theoretically true. He's telling me something that he have done and have receipts on. So that's something I appreciate about you, good brother.
You can
Yeah, like
tell
I said,
that.
I've been independent since 2011. That's the scariest thing in the world. Nobody's doing shit for you when it comes to the people that you work with and work for. When you're 1099, they don't take out FICA tax. They don't take out shit. You're on your own. You don't pay into the Social Security system unless you automatically elect to do that shit on your own. You're cutting checks to the government. And then the government's looking to see whether you fucking owned up to everything you earned, or they can find out whether you didn't. I've been playing this game since 2011, bro. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
So I've known every fucking loophole. Like if I made $100,000 commission, pay me on $5,000 checks once a week until you pay me out. Why would I say 5,000?
Yeah,
Because it's reported, when you drop a certain amount of money in the bank, it is reportable to the IRS instantly. Just like if you win a certain amount of money at a casino, they have to give you a 1099 form so you can report that net win, right?
like the money.
$5,000. If you drop in less than $5,000 increments, guess what the IRS does not know? That you dropped in $4,999 into your bank account.
But wouldn't that be technically classified as positioning?
You say what you want to say.
Okay, I'm just asking.
Catch me doing that. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. We will. That's why I said the first. When I started to say something, I was like, yeah, no, that's a conversation.
What did Donald Trump say? Don't be mad at me because I know how to utilize the rules of the fucking game.
That's a fact. That's a
And
fact.
he also said y'all doing the sex. He told all those rich people they doing the exact same thing he's doing.
Yeah, they was like tell them to stop it, but she
Who do
won't
you
stop
think
it
I'm
because
talking
the
to?
people that support her are
Listen,
taking advantage
I
of
just
this.
told you I've dealt with millionaires for almost 10, 15 years. Who do you think is turning me on to this game of keeping your money in your pocket and not giving it to Uncle Sam?
Uncle who? You know what I mean?
Right.
So yeah,
You're
no,
my
like,
uncle, but I'm just saying. Yeah, he can be a clown all day, but he's circumvented using the tax system to his.
he's a rich clown.
Yeah.
I think
How many billions is Donald Trump worth, and you calling him a clown?
Well, that's
I think-
perceived billions. I mean, he's lied about that too, but I'm just saying, I agree with you. He is a clown in a lot of things, you know, but he's got the right people employed, right?
And not just that, just because you're like incompetent in one area, that's just like they say, just because you are a rocket scientist, you need to be good at financing. That's generally not the case.
There's a such word called an idiot savant. He's very smart
That's
in
a
one
fact.
thing and one thing
That's a
only, but he's the idiot in every goddamn thing else.
Yeah. It like I have looked into cases of that, man. I think those are very peculiar individuals. Like, say, it's a gentleman that and he done read over 10,000 books, and he could if you start a sentence in either one of those books that he read, he could finish it from then on through the whole book, but he could never tie his own shoe.
He can tell you the book page, what paragraph it is, and damn near what number, letter, or word is in the paragraph.
Yep.
I know people like that. Yeah,
But he could never tie his own shoes.
Nope.
You see what I'm saying? Like he's excelled so much in one area, but lacks so much more in another area, to where that's what makes you an idiot savant.
And just to tell you, my background is in architecture, even though I never obtained my degree because my high school sweetheart got pregnant. But I've always been an out-of-the-box thinker. And if you know anything about architects, you make something out of nothing just from your imagination. You mechanically make it, mathematically make it stable enough that you build it. That's how my mind works. I can take difficult things and break them down to make them sound real simple.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So, man, we're going to continue this conversation again tomorrow night. Gentlemen, I'm finna have to go to bed in a minute because I gotta.
And I mean, we're on the other side of the planet. We looking at you like, damn, you holding on like a big dog. You know what I'm saying?
What R. Kelly said in that interview, I'm fighting for my life.
It's 12:36 p.m. here in Thailand, and it's what 11:36 in Philippines.
It's 1:21. 1:21.
Oh, that's right. You're an hour ahead. I was thinking I had it thinking an hour behind.
I think they flexing on me, Chad. I think they flexing on me. They like, we finna go outside and get our day started. You finna.
Lady downstairs cooking right now. What you mean? I'm starting to smell all kind of goodness up here.
I'm waiting for my wife to cook me lunch.
We just finished taking down the Christmas tree, and now she's warming up some stuff for us to eat. So, and I did all that before I even got on this live with you. So
I can't wait to get on that side of the world too, because I plan on visiting both the Philippines as well as Thailand. It's just that I got some business here that I got to get in order, and like hopefully like being in circles like this with very informed brothers like Ronan, K9, a lot of other brothers that's in this community, even you, Adam, because I'm sure you a treasure trove of knowledge when it comes to Thailand. I think that's gonna better equip me for the journey that I have ahead of me.
Well, I could talk about other countries as well, but it's been years. It's been a few years since I've been gone. It's well over 20 years since last time I visited the Philippines. Things have changed since then.
I haven't been there either one, so it's been over 40 years since I've been there. So I've never been, but I look forward to going. Like say, Thailand is one of my trips to where I'm going to show people how to utilize these points to do luxury travel. Like say, when you see a person take an Emirates flight and they're eating caviar and drinking champagne in first class, and they got a shower on the plane. I plan to utilize that and show people how I utilized it. So
I'm not sure where the YouTuber went in Thailand, but he was visiting one of the islands there, and it was so many tourists there that the sewer system was backing up, and they was running the sewer water in the ocean, and I'm not sure if they had a warning sign or not up above there, but you actually saw people swimming there where they was dumping the sewer water into the ocean. It was crazy.
Yeah, that sounds crazy. Don't sound appealing at all.
So if you do wherever you decide to visit, make sure you do your research and check other people's videos, see what they talk about that's good about it, and what they notice that was bad about their place, and decide whether you want to go or not.
Absolutely. I try to do extensive research before I actually get there, but being able to actually converse with somebody, I think that's also add another level of
I think a lot of the holiday spots in Thailand right now are overcrowded with tourists more than with the area the amount of people the area can handle, and it stresses the system.
Yeah, I could believe it. So once again, guys, we're gonna pick this conversation up again tomorrow night. Do you guys have anything to say before we close out?
Thanks for having me on the panel. Thanks for the comments, and I'll leave it at that so you can go ahead and get offline.
I appreciate you, Adam, and it's always a pleasure having you on, man.
I just said that at least 4 or 5 times in the video,
and I didn't say it a couple times myself. That's why I say I gotta be. But K9 bring up a good point of that. That's why I say I take all of that information in. He like when you're doing long lives, you get to like people. It's like an on and off ramp. People get to come in, check you out, and things of that nature, and then just exit. So I hear a lot of that. But Ronan, how about yourself? You got anything that you want to say before we close out?
No, I appreciate you allowing me to come on the panel as always. I always like to try to simulcast and get your channel out there as much as I can and promote you, because I believe you're a positive brother, and I always try to encourage other people to follow other encouraging and positive people on the space. We got enough negativity going on out there. When I find a good positive channel, especially because it's daytime for me, a lot of people are asleep over there, but you're not. So, I'll get on, listen to you, or jump up on the panel from time to time and, try to encourage people to follow like-minded people,
That's a fact.
I can't wait.
Appreciate
I can't wait until Charlie makes overseas work for him. where he can come overseas and don't have to necessarily travel back home as much and spend more time with that. And then
But I'm going to check out because my lady did just yell at me and say, "Hey, food's ready." All right, I got to go.
Well, you brothers enjoy it, man. I appreciate y'all. Y'all have a blessed night.
All right, peace.
All right, y'all. This is Charlie Chan with Charlie Chan TV, man. If you still watching, man, don't forget to like and subscribe, man. Like I said, we're trying to build this community out a little bit more. I need to be a little bit more due diligent on, promoting the channel and things of that nature. So if you haven't liked or subscribed yet, please do both. And just know this is a place of common sense to where we can converse civilly and with some tact and with some class. So with that being said, man, this is Charlie Chan with Charlie Chan TV, and we are out. You guys have a blessed night.